So let's talk about supplies for a minute. First of all, do not let thinking you don't have the right art supplies be a barrier to getting started. One of the first rules of Cosmic Smashbooking is, well, really there are no rules to Cosmic Smashbooking, but one of my rules is that you use what you have. Whatever you have at home right now, don't let the supplies get in the way. There are a few basic things that you are going to want to pick up, and they are inexpensive. One is a composition notebook. Here in the States, these can sell for as little as 79 cents. Usually in September when school starts, they really go on sale. They're lined, they're graphed, they're blank pages. Use whatever you have. It doesn't really matter. A lot of what's inside, whether it's graph paper or line paper, it gets covered up anyway, so don't let how the pages are constructed be in the way. If you don't have a composition notebook and want to use some other kind of journal, that's all right, but this really is what works the best because the pages are sewn in, because it has this harder cardboard cover. They are a little bit more integral. They'll stay together a little bit better for what we want to create. So pick up one of these the next time you're at the supermarket or at your local craft store. Composition notebook. The other thing that you're going to need is a piece of paper that measures a minimum of 12 by 20 inches. We're going to create a cover for our notebook, and that is about the dimensions. That's the smallest dimensions that you want to pick up that you'll be able to fold in the right way to create a cover. I tend to go a little bit bigger than that because I like the pockets that it makes on the back and the front cover. I like them to be a little bit deeper. So I tend to go maybe 14 by 24 inches. But you can use anything. In the series here, I'm going to be using a brown paper bag. But if you have just 8.5 by 11 paper and you want to glue them together, you can use that as well. One of the other things that you are going to want to get is a glue stick. This is a washable one. You can use permanent, you can use craft glue sticks, but you are going to want to pick up a glue stick. Other than that, like I said, use what you have. You will see me use some of these other supplies, and if you want to grab them while you're out, and you can, then by all means pick them up. You're going to see me use gesso. Gesso is an art medium that is often used to prime canvases. It allows paint to stick to it better. It gives it a little tooth in the page. It also adds a lot of texture. I like covering sometimes if I'm writing something in my Smashbook and I don't want it to be seen later, I'll put a layer of gesso on there before I start covering it with paint. You might want to pick up a few magazines. I collage a lot, and you can get magazines from doctor's offices. Very often will hold them aside for you if they know that you're someone that's going to use them. You can go to your local library and ask them what they do with expired editions. And a lot of times people in your neighborhood, your family might read magazines and simply put them in the trash. So ask around. You'd be surprised what you can get for free. The other things that you might want to have, cheap acrylic paints. These are just craft quality. You don't need expensive paints at all. And you can use watercolor, you can use crayons. I know women that have used old eye makeup palettes that they were no longer felt safe putting on their faces, and they use those in their Smashbooks to add color to their pages. The other tools are, simple paint brushes or sponge brushes. We also tie ribbons on our Smashbooks, and you can often get ribbon really inexpensive on sale. I like the ribbon that has the wire on the edges. It tends to be a little bit stronger, and it makes for really pretty bows. Not that you have to have that. You can use yarn, you can use shoelaces. I know people that have ripped shirts an inch wide and then tied it together to make ribbons to tie around their Cosmic Smashbooks. One of the reasons that we do use the ribbon and we tie around the books is that they get heavy. When we start adding the pages and we start adding paint and gesso and collage materials, our books can get pretty weighty. So adding the ribbon to the seam just kind of keeps our books together a little bit, gives them a little bit more integrity. Some of the other things that you might want to consider getting are something for scent. We invoke all 5 of our senses, and one of those senses is smell. You probably have perfume or some kind of a cologne or at home that you can add to your book. But if there's something that you're really craving, you can go and pick up an essential oil and add that as well. And other than that, all you gotta bring is your imagination. So stop the video here and take a screenshot.